Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Journey with Vijay Kumar Srivastav. Today we are going to study the topic methods of sowing. Before presentation I would like to introduce myself in brief. I am Vijay Kumar Srivastav. I have done MS Agriculture with a specialization in agronomy from GB Pant University of Agriculture and Technology, Pantnagar in 1996 and presently associated with seed industry. So let's move to the presentation methods of sowing. First to understand what is sowing. Sowing is the placing of a specific quantity of seeds in the soil for germination and growth, while planting is the placing of plant propagules, maybe seedlings, cuttings, rhizomes, clones, or tubers, in the soil to grow as plants. There are various methods of sowing. First one, broadcasting. Second is dibbling. Third is seed drilling. Fourth is sowing behind the country plow. It may be manual or mechanical drilling. And fifth, transplanting. About each method we will study in details. First we will study about broadcasting method. Broadcasting is the scattering or spreading of the seeds on the soil which may or may not be incorporated in the soil. Broadcasting is the most common and oldest methods of seed sowing. Broadcasting may be done manually with hands or through mechanical spreader or by aeroplane. After broadcasting, the seeds are covered gently either using a country plow with a very shallow plowing or some wooden planks are used to cover the surface. In some cases, tree twigs or shrub branches are also used. If the seeds are large, levelers collect the seeds and leave in the other side. Comb harrow is the best used one for broadcasting method and leveling. Broadcasting is otherwise called as random sowing. This is the largest method of sowing followed in India since it is the easiest and cheapest and requires minimum labors. It is mostly suited for closely spaced and small seeded crops where plant to plant distance doesn't matter. To have optimum plant population in per unit area, certain rules should be followed. Like first one, only a skilled person should broadcast the seeds for uniform scattering. And second, the plowed field should be in a perfect condition to trigger germination. The seeds are broadcasted in a narrow strip and the sowing is completed strip by strip. To ensure a good and uniform population, it is better to broadcast on either direction. This is called crisscross sowing. If the seed is too small, it is mixed with sand to make a bulky one and for easy handling. Like example in sesame seeds are mixed with sand while sowing at the ratio of 1 by 15 or 1 by 10. In certain cases, the person sowing will be beating the seeds against the basket for uniform scattering in case of sorghum and pearl millet sowing. Now we'll study about advantages and disadvantages of broadcasting. First we will go through advantages. First one, broadcasting is the easy, quick and cheap method of seeding. Second, a skilled labor is not required while broadcasting. Third, implement is not required while sowing. And fourth, followed in most condition of the soil. As disadvantages are concerned, first one, in this method, seed distribution is uneven. Second, improper placement of seeds. Third, less soil cover and compaction. Fourth, all the seeds are not placed in uniform density and depth. Fifth, there is no uniformity of germination, seedling vigor and establishment. Sixth, crop stand is affected by uneven distribution. And seventh, spacing is not maintained within row to row and plant to plant. And eighth, intercultural operation is difficult. And ninth, enhanced seed rate is required. Means in case of broadcasting, there is excess use of seeds. Second method of sowing is dibbling. It is the placing of seeds in a hole or pit made at a predetermined spacing and depth with a dibbler or planter or very often by hand. This is actually line sowing. Dibbling is practiced on plain surface and ridges and furrows or beds and channels. This type of sowing is practiced only under suitable soil condition. The seeds do not have contact with the fertilizers. Dibbling is done for wider spaced crops and medium to large sized seeds. Example, sorghum, maize, sunflower, cotton are dibbled on ridges and furrows. Both beds and channels and ridges and furrows come under line sowing. While earthing up, the plant occupies middle of the ridge. Earthing up is essential for proper anchorage or support of the root system while dibbling. Now to study about advantages and disadvantages of dibbling. First we will go through advantages. Under advantages, first point is it requires less seed rate. Second, dibbling gives rapid and uniform germination with good seedling vigor. And third, there will be uniform population. Fourth, a spacing between rows and plants is maintained. And fifth, optimum plant population can be maintained. Sixth, implement is not required for sowing. And seventh, an intercrop can be taken in wider spaced crop. And eighth, cross-wise intercultivation is possible. Now disadvantages. First, dibbling is laborious and required more labor. And second, it is time consuming and expensive compared to broadcasting method. And third, only high value and bold seeds are sown for dibbling. And fourth, it requires strict supervision. Now we will go through comparison between dibbling and broadcasting. In case of dibbling, it is costlier method while broadcasting is cheaper. In dibbling, the sowing process takes considerable time. It is a time consuming process, while in case of broadcasting, it is quickest and time saving process. In case of dibbling, there is fixed seed rate, while in broadcasting, there is consumption of higher seed rate. In dibbling methods of sowing, mechanization is possible, where mechanical tools can be used for weeding, intercultural operations and harvesting. But in broadcasting, it is not possible because a spacing is not maintained between row to row and plant to plant. In case of dibbling, there is uniform utilization of resources like soil, water, irrigation sources, sunlights, while in case of broadcasting, resource utilization is ununiform because of uneven distribution of seeds and ununiform plant population extent. Third method of sowing is seed drilling. Seed drilling is a practice of dropping seeds in a definite depth covered with soil and compacted. Sowing implements like seed drill or seed cum fertilizer drills are used. Manures, fertilizers, soil amendments, pesticides, etc. may be applied along with seeds. Seeds are drilled continuously or at regular intervals in rows. In this method, depth of sowing can be maintained and fertilizer can also be applied simultaneously. It is possible to take up sowing of intercrops also. Seed drilling requires more time, more energy and cost, but maintains uniform population per unit area. Rows are set according to the requirements. Now the advantages of seed drilling. First one is the quantity of seed required is less means in case of seed drilling the seed rate is having less consumption. And second, seeds are placed at proper and uniform depth. Third, along the rows interculturing can be done. And fourth, uniform row to row spacing is maintained. Fifth, sowing is done at proper moisture level. And sixth, during drilling, manures, fertilizers, and amendment can also be applied along with seeds. Now, disadvantages of seed drilling. First, it requires implement for sowing. Second, WAPSA condition is must for sowing. WAPSA condition refers to the drying of the soil and optimum moisture after irrigation provided to the fields. And third, plant to plant intra-row spacing is not maintained in case of seed drilling. Only row to row ratio is maintained. And fourth, a skilled person is required for sowing. Fifth, it is more time consuming. And sixth, cost is high because it is consuming more time, it requires tractor and it requires seed drill machines. Fourth method of sowing is sowing behind the country plow. It is an operation in which seeds are placed in the plow furrow either continuously or at required spacing by a man working behind a plow. When the plow takes the next adjacent furrow, the seeds in the previous furrow are closed by the soil closing the furrow. Depth of sowing is adjusted by adjusting the depth of the plow furrow. Seeds are sown on uniform distance. Sowing behind the plow is done by manual or mechanical means. The seeds are sown at uniform distance. Manual method is a laborious and time-consuming process. Seeds like red gram, cowpea, and groundnut are sown behind the country plow, and major sown crop is groundnut. In this method, seeds are sown by mechanical means by Goruj, which is a seed drill. A seed drill has a plowshare and hopper. Seeds are placed on hopper. Different types of seed drills are available like simple Goru or Guntkaj. Now the advantages of this method. The seeds are placed at desired depth covered by iron planks. And second, except very small or very large seed, most of the seeds can be used for sowing by this method. And now the disadvantages. The manual method is a laborious work and it is more time consuming process. Fifth method of sowing is transplanting. Planting seedlings in the main fields after pulling out from the nursery is known as transplanting. It is done to reduce the main field duration of the crops, facilitating to grow more number of crops in an year. It is easy to give extra care for tender seedlings. For small seeded crops like rice and ragi, which require shallow sowing and frequent irrigations for proper germination, raising nursery is the easiest way. In the method of transplanting, there are two components. First one is nursery and second is transplanting. In nursery, young seedlings are protected more effectively in a short period and in a smaller area. Management is easy and economical. Now to understand why nursery is needed. First one, it can allow multiple crops per year because nursery can be managed in a smaller area which is leaving the main fields for the main crops. Second, extra care is provided for a specific seedlings. And third, it is done for seeded crops that are small like rice which requires shallow sowing and frequent irrigation for proper germination. Now to study about advantages of transplanting. Transplanting can ensure optimum plant population. Second, management in the main field is reduced because the nursery is managed well in a smaller area. Third, crop intensification is possible under transplanting. Now disadvantages. Nursery raising is expensive, and second, transplanting is another laborious and expensive method, and third, at higher temperature dehydration is possible and leaves dry out, which may cause the poor establishment of the seedlings. Now we will study about plant geometry. The arrangement of the plants in different rows and columns in an area to utilize the natural resources efficiently is called crop geometry. It is otherwise area occupied by a single plant, like in rice the spacing of row to row 20 centimeters and plant to plant 15 centimeter. This is very essential to utilize the resources like light, water, nutrient and space. There are different geometries which are available for crop production. First one is random plant geometry. This results due to broadcasting method of sowing and no equal space is maintained. Resources are either underutilized or overexploited. Second is a square plant geometry. The plants are sown at equal distances on either sides. Mostly perennial crops, tree crops follow a square method of cultivation. Like example in coconut, the spacing is 7.5 to 7.5 meters. In case of banana, it is maintained as 1.8 meters into 1.8 meters. But due to scientific invention, the square geometry concept is expanded to close spaced field crops like rice also. Third one is rectangular plant geometry. There are rows and columns. The rows spacing are wider compared to spacing between plants. The different types exist in rectangular method. Like first one is solid row. Each row will have no proper spacing between the plants. This is followed only for annual crops which have tillering pattern. There is definite row arrangement but no column arrangement, like example wheat crop. Second is paired row arrangement. It is also a rectangular arrangement. If a crop requires 60 cm row to row ratio and 30 cm plant to plant spacing, in case of paired row, if we are adopting the spacing is altered to 90 cm instead of 60 cm in order to accommodate an intercrop. The base population is kept constant. Only spacing is adjusted. Third is skip row method. A row of planting is skipped and hence there is a reduction in population. This reduction is compensated by planting an intercrop practiced in rain-fed or dryland agriculture. Fourth method is triangular method of planting geometry. It is recommended for wide spaced crops like coconut, mango, etc. The number of plants per unit area is more in this system. So this presentation was all about methods of sowing. Hope this will be useful to all of you. Now my presentation ends here. Thank you very much. I have given here my YouTube channel details, Journey with Vijay Kumar Srivastava. Having request, please visit the channel, subscribe it and provide your kind and valuable feedback for further improvements in next coming presentations. Thank you.